Welcome to the Psych Ignition. A lion doesn't have to announce itself. Its presence alone speaks volumes. In the jungle of modern masculinity, some men roar for attention. They are loud, dominant, constantly vying for a position in the pack. But the Sigma male, he operates from a different dimension. He is the quiet storm. He doesn't seek the spotlight, yet you feel his gravity. He isn't trying to impress, yet he commands a deep, unspoken respect. He moves with an independence that is both strategic and unshakable, completely immune to the noise of social expectation. You won't find him scrambling for a place in the hierarchy. He doesn't need a tribe to validate his existence. He builds his kingdom within, operating on his own terms, in his own space, answerable only to his own code. But how do you spot him? It's not about looking for the loudest or the strongest. It's about recognizing the man who sees everything but reveals little. The one who can be fully present in a crowd and then vanish without a trace. He is not unfriendly, but he has no eagerness to belong. If you meet a man who is both social and distant, both engaged and detached, both approachable and profoundly unknowable, you've just encountered a Sigma. The real question is, have you seen this in others? Or have you felt this echo in yourself? If you feel like you don't fit the predefined social boxes, if your freedom is your highest currency, if people constantly struggle to figure you out, you are not lost. You are different. This is how the Sigma male moves, thinks, and operates. And once you know what to look for, you'll start seeing the pattern everywhere. Let's begin. Number 1. The art of the unannounced exit. Most people follow the social script. When they leave, they make the rounds. The handshakes, the hugs, the excuses. They are governed by a fear of seeming rude, of what others might think. The Sigma male? He has already dissolved into the night. One moment he is there, a part of the scenery. The next, he is gone. No announcement, no drawn-out goodbyes, no performative validation, not out of disrespect, but from a profound understanding. His presence is a choice, not an obligation. When his social battery is spent, he simply departs. No drama, no attention-seeking. He moves when it suits him, not when the script demands it. This confuses people. Some take it personally. Others label him antisocial. The truth is far more powerful. Sigma males don't thrive on external validation. They don't need a grand send-off to feel appreciated. They know that real connections aren't maintained by ritualistic farewells. If you are important to him, he will see you again. No ceremony required. If you've ever watched a man be fully present one moment and become a ghost the next, no fuss, no apologies, you've witnessed a Sigma. And if that sounds like you, hear this. You do not owe the world your presence, and you certainly don't owe it a performance upon your exit. Real power is knowing when to walk away, leaving nothing but the echo of your calm. Number 2. The vault of silence. Most people live their lives as an open book. They broadcast their struggles, their triumphs, their fears, handing out pieces of themselves to anyone who will listen. The Sigma male? His inner world is a fortified vault. Unless you have earned the key, you are not granted access. This isn't born of paranoia, but of a profound understanding of power dynamics. He knows that information is leverage. The more people know about you, the more surface area they have to influence, manipulate, or control you. Have you ever spoken with someone for years, only to realize you know nothing of substance about them? That is the mark of a Sigma. He reveals just enough to maintain smooth interaction, but never a syllable more. You might feel a connection, but step back. Do you know his dreams? His solitude? His true intentions? This is no accident. It is by design. Sigma males don't overshare because they don't need the validation that comes from public confession. They don't feel the urge to explain their past or justify their present. They let others assume what they will, secure in the knowledge that assumptions are not reality. This makes him an enigma, unfathomable, unpredictable. People cannot use his weaknesses against him because he never handed them the weapons. If you know someone who keeps his life elegantly out of reach, who listens 10 times more than he speaks, you've just identified a Sigma. And if this is you, understand this. Guarding your privacy is not isolation. It is a strategic declaration of sovereignty. It is power. Number 3. The unspoken knowing. In a world of constant noise, where most people speak to fill the silence, the Sigma male understands the profound power of quiet observation. His strength doesn't lie in his voice, but in his vision. While others are busy projecting, he is absorbing. He is a living, breathing data processor of human behavior. He notes the micro-hesitation in a handshake, the subtle shift in posture that betrays a lie, the dissonance between spoken words and hidden intent. And when his gaze rests upon you, it feels less like being seen and more like being read. His eyes hold an unspoken, unsettling truth. I know. Not because he was told, not because he pried, but because he paid attention while everyone else was talking. His silence is not ignorance, it is a calculated choice. He is uninterested in the trivial, but if there is an undercurrent of tension, a hidden power play, a secret unfolding, he deciphers it long before it reached the surface. This is why he is both magnetic and intimidating. He doesn't react on cue. He doesn't need external confirmation for the truths he has already uncovered. And because he never broadcasts his knowledge, people are left in a state of unease, perpetually wondering, what else does he see? What else does he know? A Sigma male never wastes energy proclaiming he is right. He simply waits with the patience of a predator. When the truth finally reveals itself, he won't utter, "I told you so." He will simply offer that quiet, knowing look, the look that says he saw the end of the story from its very first word. So if you've ever met a man who sits in serene silence, who speaks only to shift the very fabric of a conversation, and who seems to possess a quiet omniscience, you've spotted a Sigma. And if this mirrors your own nature, here is your truth. True intelligence is not loud, it is observant. It calculates in the shadows, and when the moment is perfect, it acts with undeniable finality. Number 4. The sovereign stand. Human beings are tribal by nature. We crave belonging, to be part of a pack that reinforces our identity and makes us feel significant. We form groups, establish hierarchies, and perform rituals of loyalty. The Sigma male sees this not as strength, but as a cage. He is not antisocial. He is not against collaboration. But the moment a group demands fealty, the moment it requires conformity of thought, he detaches. His allegiance is not to a tribe, but to his own code. Why? Because his identity is not a group project. He knows who he is, with or without a title, a crew, or a shared ideology. This is what truly sets him apart. While some men reject groups because they were excluded, the Sigma voluntarily opts out. He doesn't need the crutch of collective validation. He can lead without demanding followers. He can cooperate without submitting. He can form alliances without sacrificing his core independence. He understands a fundamental psychological truth. A group that requires constant validation is built on a foundation of insecurity. One that demands blind loyalty is about control, not camaraderie. A Sigma has no time for such fragile constructs. This innate sovereignty is why some perceive him as a threat. They mistake his independence for arrogance, when in reality, it is the ultimate form of integrity. He will collaborate when it serves a purpose, but the moment the group expects him to need them, he is already gone. If you observe a man who never latches onto cliques, who never follows just to fit in, and who derives his strength from within, you are witnessing a Sigma. And if this is your path, understand this. To walk alone is not a sign of being lost. It is the ultimate proof that you know exactly where you are going. Number 5. The comfort in the quiet. For most, solitude is a void to be filled, a source of anxiety and unease. They scroll, they chatter, they seek constant noise to escape the confrontation with their own thoughts. But for the Sigma male, solitude is not a sentence, it is a sanctuary. He is the man you see in the high-end restaurant, dining alone, not with embarrassment, but with an air of quiet ceremony. He is the one who books a solo trip to a distant country, not to boast, but to immerse himself in the experience, answerable to no one's schedule but his own. He doesn't do this to prove a point. He does it because this is his natural state. It is an expression of his self-containment. This is where true power is forged. While others rely on external stimulation to feel alive, the Sigma generates his own. He is on intimate terms with his own mind. He doesn't fear the silence, he converses with it. This self-mastery makes him unpredictable and entirely self-directed. His life is not a reaction to public opinion, but a creation of his own design. If you see a man who is profoundly at ease in his own company, who engages in solo pursuits not with awkwardness, but with a sense of purpose, you have spotted a Sigma. And if this resonates with you, know this: your ability to stand alone, fully self-sufficient, is not a social flaw. It is your greatest strategic advantage. While others are dependent on the crowd for direction and validation, you move with a freedom that is both rare and formidable. Number 6. The social chameleon. Human psychology often boxes people into two categories: the extrovert, who draws energy from the crowd, and the introvert, who is drained by it. The Sigma male defies this binary. He is a social chameleon, a master of context. One moment, he is the epicenter of a conversation, charismatic, engaged, and fully present. The next, he has vanished. Not with a dramatic exit, but with a quiet dissolution. This seamless shift between social engagement and profound solitude is what confuses and fascinates others. How can someone be so present and then so utterly gone? The answer lies in his intent. A Sigma does not need social interaction. He chooses it, but only when it serves a purpose. He enjoys the dance of conversation, but he is not attached to the music. He can be magnetic, but feels no compulsion to remain once his objective is met or his curiosity is satisfied. His energy is not defined by the room, but regulated by his own internal compass. When he is done, he departs. No explanations, no loose ends, no second thoughts. This is often misinterpreted. People take his silence as rejection, his solitude as sadness. But they are wrong. He is not isolating out of loneliness. He is retreating to his command center to recharge, to recalibrate, to think. Solitude is not his escape. It is his default state, his source of power. If you know a man who can command a room and then ghost it with equal ease, who can be fully engaged one moment and untouchably distant the next, you are dealing with a Sigma. And if this is your rhythm, understand this: your ability to disengage without apology is not a social weakness. It is the ultimate expression of self-ownership. It is your greatest power. Number 7. The surgical response. Most people operate from emotional extremes. They are either overly agreeable, bending their will to appease others, or they are aggressively confrontational, constantly asserting dominance. The Sigma male exists in the calm, controlled space between these poles. He is neither the relentless pleaser nor the volatile aggressor. His energy is not scattered, it is focused. His approach is not reactive, it is surgical. You will never see a Sigma lose his composure over trivial matters. He does not engage in petty arguments or flex his power for an audience. He conserves his energy like a precious resource. But when a line is crossed, when a principle is violated, his response is not an explosion, it is a precision strike. Clean, calculated, final. There is no emotional outburst, no drawn-out conflict, just a single, well-timed action or statement that resolves the issue with devastating efficiency, leaving no room for doubt or retaliation. This is what makes him so unnerving. He cannot be baited. He cannot be predicted. While others are slaves to their emotional triggers, the Sigma observes, calculates, and waits for the perfect moment to act. He understands a profound psychological principle. The most powerful response is often the one withheld until it can have maximum impact. People mistake this calm precision for coldness. It is not. It is supreme efficiency. Why waste energy on a shouting match when a single, quiet sentence can end the game? Why seek noisy revenge when strategic indifference inflicts a deeper, more lasting lesson? If you encounter a man who remains unshaken in chaos, who speaks only when his words will land with weight, and who handles opposition with the quiet finality of a judge, pay close attention. You are witnessing a Sigma. And if this is your way, know this: your strength was never in your volume or your fury. It is in your impeccable timing, in your ability to strike once so perfectly that you never need to strike again. Number 8. The inner citadel. Most people chase an illusion of freedom, in wealth, in status, in power over others. But the Sigma male knows the only true freedom is the one forged within. It is the unshakable mastery of the self. This is his defining attribute. He has built an inner citadel that no external force can breach. Society cannot pressure him, for he does not seek its validation. Others cannot manipulate him, for he does not crave their approval. And most critically, his own emotions do not control him. Understand this distinction. He is not emotionless. He is emotionally sovereign. He feels the stir of anger, the whisper of loneliness, the chill of fear. But he treats these not as commands, but as data. Anger is a signal that a boundary has been crossed, not a license to lash out. Loneliness is a feeling to be understood, not a desperate plea to seek hollow company. Fear is a map of the unknown, not a stop sign. While most people are puppets jerked around by their temporary feelings, the Sigma male is the one who holds the strings. He observes the storm of emotion from a place of calm awareness, and he chooses his response. This profound self-mastery is what makes him seem untouchable. Manipulators find no purchase. Dramas fizzle in his presence. He moves through life with a quiet, unnerving certainty, as if following a blueprint only he can see. If you have ever met a man who seems immune to mind games, who remains centered in chaos, and whose calm demeanor feels like a superpower, you are in the presence of a Sigma. And if this is the path you walk, then recognize this video is not merely information, it is a reflection. You are not learning about the Sigma, you are remembering who you already are. Number 9. The unshakable anchor. In an age of constant distraction, where most people use noise as a shield against their own thoughts, the Sigma male is an island of pure, unadulterated calm. He doesn't just tolerate silence, he communes with it. Watch him in a crowded cafe. While others fidget, scroll, or anxiously scan the room, he is perfectly still. There is no nervous energy, no desperate need for a screen to hide behind. His phone is a tool, not a social crutch. His own presence is his validation. This is more than just comfort in being alone. This is a deep, integrated self-containment. He is so at home within himself that his solitude becomes a palpable force. It radiates from him. This power unsettles those who are dependent on external validation. His calm becomes a mirror, forcing them to confront their own reliance on noise and constant connection. Some will be intrigued, drawn to his unshakable core. Others will feel exposed, even resentful, in the face of a man who needs no audience to feel complete. This is the essence of his magnetism. He is not avoiding people. He simply does not need them to feel whole. His world is rich, ordered, and self-sustaining. And in a world of desperate social grasping, that quiet wholeness is the most compelling force of all. If you see a man whose solitude feels like power, whose silence speaks of deep reservoirs of strength, you have found a Sigma. And if this is you, understand, your peace is not passivity. It is a fortress. While others are tossed on the waves of social demand, you are the anchor, unmoved and utterly secure. Number 10. The silent victor. The world is a cacophony of competition. Most people are locked in a visible struggle, boasting of their achievements, flaunting their progress, and fighting for a spotlight they believe will validate their worth. The Sigma male is not in that race. He is on an entirely different track. He does not argue. He does not show off. He wastes zero energy trying to prove he is the best. He is simply better. While others are busy flexing, he is focused on mastering his craft. While they are distracted by the race, he is moving so efficiently he has lapped at them without them even noticing. He operates in silence, guided by an internal clock and a personal standard of excellence that renders external applause meaningless. He doesn't announce his plans. He executes them. He doesn't warn his rivals. He outpaces them without a sound. And this is what makes him truly formidable. He prefers to be underestimated. It is a strategic advantage. By the time anyone realizes he was even a contender, he is already at the finish line, looking as if he never broke a sweat. The Sigma doesn't thrive on competition because he isn't trying to be better than anyone else. His only true rival is the man he was yesterday. This relentless pursuit of personal excellence, this quiet war with his own limitations, is what allows him to surpass everyone else without a single public battle. His so-called rivals never see it coming. They think they're winning until they look up and see he's in a different league altogether. No noise, no showboating. Just undeniable, unassailable results. If you witness a man who moves with silent, unstoppable momentum, whose success seems to arrive without fanfare, you are looking at a Sigma. And if this is your path, know this: your silence is not emptiness. It is the quiet hum of a relentless engine. You don't need to fight for the top spot. You simply arrive there, and your presence alone redefines the landscape. Number 11. The strategic player. Society runs on unspoken rules and rituals, the forced pleasantries, the unnecessary meetings, the expectation to be social for the sake of it. The Sigma male is acutely aware of this script, but he is not a blind follower. These norms don't annoy him out of rebellion, but out of a demand for efficiency. He operates on a simple, powerful question: does this serve a purpose? If the answer is no, he disengages. You see it in the way he minimizes small talk, avoids redundant gatherings, and refuses to perform social gymnastics that lead nowhere. But here is the crucial distinction. He is not a chaotic rebel. He is a strategic player. He understands the game, even if he dislikes it. If a firm handshake and a polished smile can open a necessary door, he will execute it with precision. If using certain keywords in a conversation can achieve an objective, he will oblige. He plays the game not out of fear or a need to belong, but as a calculated choice. He is playing chess while everyone else is rehearsing a play they never read. This is why he is so hard to categorize. He is not an outsider, yet he is never fully in. He moves through social structures with a detached grace, participating just enough to maintain his trajectory, but his spirit remains untouched, his mind always calculating, always free. If you see a man who is in sync with the crowd, yet fundamentally separate from it, who engages without ever being absorbed, you are observing a Sigma. He plays the game only when it serves his purpose, and walks away the moment it demands his soul. Number 12. The self-authored code. Ultimately, the Sigma male's entire existence is not governed by the laws of the tribe, but by a code he has authored for himself. This is the bedrock of everything. His independence, his silence, his surgical precision all flow from this internal constitution. He does not look outward for permission, for morality, or for direction. His compass is internal. His validation is intrinsic. He has done the hard, solitary work of introspection to determine what he stands for, what he values, and what lines he will not cross. This self-authored code grants him an unshakable foundation. When faced with a dilemma, he does not panic or look for a leader. He turns inward and consults his own principles. This makes him incredibly resilient and morally autonomous. He cannot be bribed with social acceptance or threatened with exile, for his sense of self was never derived from the group to begin with. He is, in the truest sense, a sovereign individual. If you meet a man whose actions are perfectly aligned, whose yes is certain and whose no is final, who seems to move through the world with an unbreakable, internal consistency, you have met a Sigma. And if this is you, then you understand the ultimate truth. The most powerful man is not the one who controls others, but the one who has mastered himself. You are the author, the protagonist, and the sole critic of your own story. The Sigma. Male is not a label. It is a state of being. A man who knows himself needs no permission to exist on his own terms. He doesn't need to introduce himself. You recognize him by the quiet gravity he carries. He is not the loudest in the room, but his presence is felt in the stillness he creates. He is not chasing validation, yet he commands a respect that runs deeper than fear or favor. He moves differently because he hears a different rhythm. He thinks differently because he questions the source of every thought. He lives by his own code because he built it from the ground up. If you see these traits in yourself, understand this: you do not need to explain who you are to anyone. The world may not understand your quiet confidence, your ability to stand alone, or your refusal to follow the crowd, but that is their limitation, not yours. You were never meant to blend in. Some will be drawn to your energy, others will be unsettled by it. Either way, you do not adjust yourself to make them comfortable. You keep moving forward, silently outpacing expectations, proving nothing to no one but yourself. That is the essence of the Sigma male. Not trying to impress, not trying to lead, just living with such relentless authenticity and efficiency that the world cannot help but take notice. So keep trusting your instincts. Keep choosing depth over noise, action over empty words, and sovereignty over approval. Society thrives on labels, but you transcend them. You don't chase status, yet you rise. You don't demand attention, yet you leave an indelible mark. The world will try to pull you into its distractions, its competitions, and its pointless games. Let them waste their energy. You have nothing to prove, because a Sigma male isn't defined by what he says. He is defined by what he does, what he builds, and the unshakable peace he finds in being utterly, completely, and powerfully himself. If this video gave you value, hit that like button and subscribe. Join this community of men who refuse to be ordinary. Stay focused, stay disciplined, and embrace the Sigma mindset. Thank you for watching.